Joining us now is Ben Collins. He's a tech and media reporter for NBC News who's been working this beat. Ben, thank you very much for being here. I really appreciate it.
Yeah, absolutely. Thank you.
First of all, I feel like the more I read on this subject and the more I come to understand on this subject, I gain increasing confidence in my ability to understand this stuff myself and become frightened by it.
Yeah.
I do not have a lot of confidence in my ability to explain it in a way that's going to convey these things to other people. It's hard to talk about in terms of its import.
Sure. I think the most important thing to note here is that it's creating a simulated environment in the United States where people believe things that they may not necessarily believe. This is 55 million people, or you know what, maybe some of them were not people this whole time, but 55 million Facebook accounts followed these accounts that were pulled down today. And they were saying uniformly one thing politically. And you know what? They didn't even, the people who joined these groups, they weren't there to talk about President Trump. They were there to look at the teeth brushing videos that you were just talking about. Mm-hmm. But over time, what they do is they build up confidence that, hey, you know, this is a reliable person. This is a real American. This guy has a real photo, as far as I can tell. He's from down the street. He says he's from Denver or whatever. So they create these identities that look American, and then they shift the tide politically with just subtly over the course of time.
And the thing that is insidious about it that I didn't quite understand until literally the litigation, the criminal cases brought in the wake of the Internet Research Agency stuff in Russia, was that it makes sense operationally for these online presences, these avatars, these accounts, to build up in a non-political context. And it can be, you know, that it's helpful hints for whitening your ogre teeth, or it's, you know, how to tie your shoes faster, or it's I love motorcycles, or it's I love Texas, or it's I sure, you know, hate the police, or, you know, you pick anything, any cause that might attract Americans, any stripe of Americans, and you build up their interest and their following because you get them to trust you, and then you become operational in a way that's designed to influence the election at some later time after you've already got them on the hook.
Right. And I think it was important work by Stopes, it's important work by everybody who covered this stuff to get this now, to narrow this down now. Because we don't know what this sort of unleashed would have looked like in a year. The Epoch Times had already been banned from buying ads on Facebook. They were the largest buyer of pro-Trump ads on Facebook before this, but they already got caught manipulating the platform.
Wait, slow down there for a second. So when you reported on this in August, the largest online purchaser of pro-Trump ads was the Trump campaign. The second largest purchaser of pro-Trump ads was Epoch Times when your reporting got them shut down.
That's correct, yes.
And now they're back.
Yes, and now they're back. And by the way, they weren't shut down for their messages. This is the thing that Facebook really wants to say over and over again. This stuff was found in the data. It was very easy for them to find these fake identities because they looked so weird over time. Mm-hmm. And they all worked in packets, right? They all worked in groups together. So it wasn't about the messages. It was about the fact that they kept creating fake people over and over again and said, hey, we're real people. We swear to God. And also we're going to buy some ads. So this is the second time they've pulled this off. This is a larger time they've pulled it off, like just sheer numbers. And I guess the most important thing is we don't know if it's still happening. This takes a lot of internal work from Facebook, a lot of work from reporters being like, hey, Facebook, what's going on here? This looks very fishy. So their end game has never been pulled off. Like, they haven't meddled in an election in the way that they want to yet.
But they keep building the machine to try to do it.
building the machine.
Facebook is calling this artificial amplification, which I think is a helpful way to think about it. It's one thing to compete in the marketplace of ideas. I mean, that's what elections are all about, including political advertising. But to be creating foreign-based robot armies that are artificially amplifying your message is a form of information warfare. It feels like we don't have defense for it at all. Ben Collins, tech and media reporter for NBC News. The best defense we have is to understand it, and you're doing great work.
Thanks so much.
Thanks a lot.
Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me, or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.